Hello, hello. Welcome to today's messages. Did you miss me? Did you miss my face? Or do you prefer to see the cards? There is no wrong answer because it's about the messages. And the messages getting to who they need to get to when they are needed the most. That's why these readings are timeless. Because time is irrelevant in the energetic world. This is why divine timing is a thing, right? So let's make sure everything is on. And we will tap into the energies of this day, whatever that day is for you, and see what our messages are. Okay, we've got this one and this one. Let's see what they are. I think that one is contact. And this one is, what is that one? Communication. Okay. And what's that one? Where is it? Something about going with the flow. Allowing things to move. And like water go with the flow. It is contact and communication. Okay, so something wants your attention, something wants to communicate to you. The energy of contact allows you to know that all doors to your inner source will open when you surrender and like water go with the flow. Yes, and communication makes you aware that you are able to communicate with your body, understanding its signals and solving its discomforts. This energy brings both your body and your spirit into deeper contact with each other. Okay, so this is the time when your body is communicating with you, when your higher self is communicating with you, when your divine spirit team is communicating with you. Okay, and your higher self. Did I say it already? So let's see what, this is why we're here, to tap into the subtle communications from the energetic realms and try to bring them in so that we can better see and examine and recognize. Okay, we got Ewas, which I believe is death and transformation. The bright-eyed little black kitten is wise beyond his years, as he holds the wisdom of many lives. This tarot's death card. Like tarot's death card, black cats are often erroneously viewed with fear. This kitten knows the beauty of transformation. With every new life, he moves closer to enlightenment. Iwaz has both a serious nature and the light, swift energy of renewal. A rune representing the mysteries of life and death. Iwaz speaks of things timeless, eternal, and immortal. It deals with our initiation into the mysteries of life, and it brings a message that there will be testing and transformation. It is a symbol of death and rebirth, magic, liberation, rebirth, spiritual awakening, and protection. Wow. Wow. Are you picking up what's being communicated? Lots of things. Okay, it's already hot. Spirit's already in the building. And the birds are wild. Yeah, last night I was hearing owls like screeching. I heard one. And then, I woke up to a consistent bird call of some kind. So there's lots of communications around, and it's about tapping in, checking in, seeing in, feeling in. I need to change these glasses. That's better. That's better. I want to be able to look. I mean, actually, I guess it was relevant to black cat eye glasses, but they're a little harder for me to look up and over, and I like to do that. Okay, so making adjustments for your comfort and convenience, for the good of all. Yes. Okay. What's going on with my cuff here? Guess I can take these off. Okay. Oh, we want to open them up and pull cards at random like this. Okay. Sure. That's it. Okay. Pull cards at random. And the one at the bottom is the Three of Swords. Okay, so this is your heart space. And this makes sense. This is your heart and your wounds communicating to you. This is how you transform. This is what must die to be reborn. Those old versions of self that need to be released. The old versions of self that are no longer relevant, but we need to, it's not like they're no longer relevant because they're all steps leading us to where we are at. They're building stones, right? To our structure, to who we are. This is why the communicating with your body is important. When you've got something unsettled, when you've got something unhealed, it'll start to make itself known through little aches and pains and little soft cries. And this is about trusting the information that you get, okay? And rolling with it, looking into it, feeling it out, checking it out. What is this? Examining it, right? This is how we find the things that need to be found within. It's this communication with ourselves. But if we've got all this noise, all this bombardment, distractions, other people's trauma, dramas, whatever, all up in there, it's hard to hear the subtle sounds of our bodies. It's easy to dismiss them or just to label them as, oh, it's because I slept wrong on my side and that's why my arm's bugging me, or all this other things. But it's actually your body letting you know that there's something that needs tuning, right? And this is signs and synchronicities coming in from your spirit team, from your heart, from your divine center. These are the things that lead you, okay? And they're also, I want to say, like additional support. So say you've got something internally that is affecting you, right? You've got a sore spot or I slept wrong or whatever kind of a area of focus on your body, okay? And then you start to notice these little signs and synchronicities, a song playing, you know, algorithms popping up, certain things that are about, you know, childhood wounds or something. This is what is going to help you figure out to narrow in on the parts that need work, on the areas that need some special attention. This is how your spirit guides and the universe works to aid in your healing. It wants you to be healed because a healed person can, they overflow liquid sunshine and they resonate from a love frequency, right? Okay, we've got the garden, spiritual garden. This is my spiritual garden card. This is the card that represents the tending to your spiritual practice, your spiritualness. Okay, we've got this figure here, which is the shadow version of yourself, right? These are your wounds. These are your protectors, your sorry, distracted Mims is stalking. And see this connection with the heart and the third eye and your soul star chakra. No, she didn't get it. And Earth Star, right? This solid connection. This is your freeway system that runs through you, connected above and below. And this is your clear pathway for healing, for communicating, for tapping in and knowing, right? And when there's a disturbance there, this is your body communicating. There's something in your energy field, there's something in your physical field, there's something unhealed that needs to be found, excavated. It's like finding something sticking out of the ground over here, but you know, you caught a glimpse of something shiny and you're like, what's that? And so you follow the sign, which is that shimmer that catches your eye, and you go over there and you notice this thing, and then tapping in and knowing, oh, this is something major. And then the action, right? I'm going to dig this up. And then finding that it's attached to this bigger structure and it's this whole thing, right? This process of going within. And then I lost my analogy there, because now we're excavating some lost temple, and but that's just it, right? It's more like finding a piece of yourself and being like, oh wow, oh, I'm missing that piece. Oh, it goes right here, right? Oh, first we got to dust it off and wash it off and take out all this fungus that's been growing there from neglect and detachment, right? And maybe we got to buff it up and then find some proper adhesive to make sure that it gets on. It's a whole process, right, of this reintegrating lost, fractured parts of ourselves. And you do so through your ability to have a clear openness with yourself, body and mind. Okay. And then we have the wish fish. This is your intentions that you speak. This is also your attention, just like pain serves us so that we can focus our attention on the area that needs healing, right? Otherwise, you know, we get a wound, and if we're not made aware of it, it can bleed out and then we die. So this is part of the body's safety mechanism, the body's protocol for aiding in our healing. And on all levels, it works the same on all the levels. Okay, yes. So get really good at understanding the signals and recognizing where they're coming from, what they're attached to. There's lots of information about there, which chakra is connected to which body part, and it's about finding the root of the problem, and pulling that out. It's like those invasive weeds, right? We can topically pull them, but then they keep sprouting, and you're like, I thought I got rid of all this. Where did this all come from? And it's because we got to get down there and find all the tiny little roots, all the places of origin, and stop it from that point. Okay, heal it from that point. Okay, yes. So this celebration, this is a recognition of the work that you do. Okay, oh yeah. So I'm not done with this one yet. So also this is like the master and student card. Okay, so this is like do your own research, find out more information, take an active role in your healing, in your growth, in your evolution. This is like a sacred bond, with others, with yourself, with your higher self, with your spirit team, with your emotional regularity, with your peace, right? And your level of dedication to whatever needs to be done to be a master, right? Yes, like to become a master of breath work, you have to practice. You have to have a practice, engage in a practice in order to get good at it. And breath work is a very good grounding, centering, life generating tool. We're literally breathing in mindfully, giving attention to the breath. It's doing the same thing as attention to a pain wound that needs healing. We're giving attention to our breath, the life-giving source that we breathe into our bodies. Very important stuff. Okay, ground the doubts and hold the love frequency, okay? We've got peace and uncertainty, okay? What are you choosing for yourself? How are you getting there? Rooting out all of the shadows, all of the dark places, all of the wounds, the hurts, the pains, and regulating them, giving them love, reintegrating them into the heart. This is exactly what I was talking about with that. Finding that peace and giving it the love and attention before reintegrating it, right? And then once you have integrated all the pieces, then you are more able to hold this frequency of love, this frequency of birthing seeds into the soil, the fertile soil that you have tended, right? And receiving the beautiful blooms and fruits. That's what the Empress does. Okay, she heals through resonance. She taps in through resonance. And the doubts, the fears, the uncertainties. So in my dream last night, I had disturbances, maneuvering in dark places, lots of shadows, lots of movement. I feel like there were a lot of spirits around, and even a karmic from the past showing up with a flashlight around a corner trying to like jump scare me. And I was like, no, go away, kind of thing. And then there was this, like, it was like a poltergeist or something, like a room full of toddlers that have gone wild, and they're all creating their own little ball of uh, chaos, and all together, you know how that can get, right? And there was this um like this on the side of my head, and I'm trying to sleep, and I had like in real life been woken up at 3 a.m. by the freaking cats wanting in. Scully's so loud. He puts his paws on the sliding glass window, his little pads, and they make this sound that I could hear upstairs. So anyways, let him in, and then Opal went out. Anyways, it was this whole catastrophe going on. And so I ended up sitting in the dark for like half an hour, and then finally went back to sleep, and then had this disturbance dream. Anyways, I'd had enough with this and everything that was going on, and I declared enough so loud and forceful that it woke me up. And I actually said the word audibly. Like, I didn't just dream said it, I real life said it. And the thing that struck me about it was the level of authority. Like, um it wasn't like a begging to please stop. It was like, you're done. That's enough. There's no room for debate. And it was instant, like, stop. And well, I did wake up, and then, I kind of looked around and then went back to sleep, right? And I think this is how we need to deal with any sort of dark disturbances that we come across within our own minds, and whatever is around us. This, like, a refusal to placate or to tolerate. Just that's it. We're done there. That no more, right? And there's power in that. Just like there's power in your words, your intentions. This is how you empower your words, with this authoritative certainty in your speaking. Yes, authoritative speaking. Okay, yes, because we want to hold the love frequency. It's about maintaining this love frequency. Love conquers the fears, right? If it's not love, then it's the alternative, and we want love. And so by grounding, by owning, by acknowledging, by claiming, by denying, by choosing, not fear, and right, you are choosing love. And there's also this acknowledgement, like, those spirits, whatever they were, they seemed very young, right? And like like kids that are seeking attention because they didn't get any attention. So any attention is better than no attention. And then so they start misbehaving, and because what they're being shown is that that's a way to get attention, is by misbehaving, right? And so part of this reclamation is giving love, you can be firm, but also in a loving way, right? It's like a parent who is like, oh yeah, go run run in the streets. Yeah, go have fun, right? That kid is like, oh, subconsciously or whatever on a level, maybe I don't mean like what happens if I get run over or whatever, like nobody's really caring, versus somebody's just like, no, you can't go running around in the middle of the streets. You're going to stay home, you're going to do chores, or you're going to learn life skills or whatever the heck, right? This is also a form of love, right? Love is not all like, I give you everything that you want and placate. Love is also, I know what's best for you right now. And so, no, right? Anyways, I guess that was information that needed to come up. So we'll just let it be. Okay, we got two more. We've got discernment. Okay, so this is what you are allowing into your cup. Okay, the only thing that stays in the cup and doesn't dissolve into the air is love. And this is why the only thing that your cup actually holds is liquid sunshine. Everything else dissolves into ether or just disappears. And this is why you want to be an overflowing cup when you're giving to others, because you're giving liquid sunshine instead of this ephemeral space holder. It's like instant gratification and entertaining doubts and fears and helping somebody just so that you could feel needed or wanted, or, you know, these ulterior motives that aren't coming from a place of love, they're coming from a place of fear. You're putting shadow into your cup. And so it never gets full. You create an illusion that there's stuff going in your cup, but there actually isn't. And so this is about, love or fear, right? Choosing love to go in your cup. That's the liquid sunshine. And your ability to recognize, okay, she's also, the Queen of Swords is also by what you speak, what you put your attention on. And your ability to recognize and be in self-mastery is what is going to get you to this overflowing cup stage. Okay, I hope all that made sense. But this is part of the thing, right? We intend that all the messages that come out are for someone, and that somebody will find this message when they are meant to. Oh, wow. Oh, wow. Oh, wow. Okay. So we had this transition period. This is the love and fear. What are you choosing card? Okay. This came out. I feel like this is part of your communication, checking in with your nervous system. How does it feel? Does it feel empowering, or does it not feel empowering, right? You need to check in. This is your communication with your body, with your higher self, with that central line. Okay, then we've got the King and Queen of Cups that came out back to back. This is your balancing in your heart space. This is the masculine and feminine. This is your ability to pick up the pieces, right? Know that this is a part of you that has been lost, that you just discovered, and taking the action to clean it up and reintegrate it. This balanced masculine and feminine going and healing within. Okay. And then so within, so without. I feel like, we can heal to a certain point ourselves. And then it takes a mirroring from another. It's also like we can pick out all the big shards, right, of our wounds. We can pull those big swords out, but there are little fragment pieces you can't get alone. You can't reach them alone. They're too tender, they're too deep. They need the right sort of safe environment with another person who is able to hold you, to support you, to help get into the finer excavating. And you do this with each other, right? It's like, yeah, it's like the weed in the garden where, we've got all the surface stuff, but it keeps coming up. And it's like, oh, eventually you're like, okay, I need somebody else's help here to help get all the little things. I need another set of eyes to find all those roots. So it's okay. It's not about, like, we're never 100% healed or 100%, we're ever expanding, right? As the world expands, as we expand, it's like this in tandem expansion, and it's ever unfolding. And so we're ever adjusting, adapting, evolving as well, and healing and discovering. And this stage of the game is about setting yourself up for success, right? It's not about getting to a place where you never get mud on you, right? It's about creating an efficient washing station. So anytime mud gets on you, it's no big deal. You just go over there and rinse off and you're good to go, right? Okay, we also have death. So this is beautiful confirmation of the Iwas, because this is death and transformation. This is death and rebirth. This is that old version of self that never listened to their bodies, that didn't recognize the subtle communications from within. This is about becoming one who is tapped in and tuned in to all of the signs and synchronicities and the old ways and the new ways and the integration. Okay, we also have the Seven of Swords came up again. And this is near the intention, what you're putting your attention on, and the things that you speak. And I feel like this is external. This is like distractions and things that you consume, right? Music that you listen to. What are the lyrics? Think about mantras, right? Music is basically like a mantra. If you're listening to something that's saying, I am unworthy, I am, evil, or whatever, this is what your brain is singing to, and this is the mantra you're telling yourself over and over again. What kind of shows are you watching? What kind of content are you engaging in, right? Is it love, or is it fear? Is it making you feel good and your heart to swell, or is it making you feel gross and disconnected and all of that jazz? Okay, and then we've also got the King and Queen of Swords here, and so this is that double up on your discernment game and the importance of recognizing and action, right? Taking the action, knowing what isn't for you and cutting it away. Recognizing those tendencies within yourself, the shadowed versions of ourself that seek these instant gratification moments, or slipping into the old comfort ways, right? And not, okay? And yeah, this is also communication. Swords are very much about the communication. So we've got the divine counterparts in the heart and in the mind. And so this is about your balance and peace in those areas. Okay. I got distracted. As these things happen. Okay, we're going to go with the magical botanical oracle deck here today. And see who wants to come out and add to this reading. Okay, and so the butterfly here stood out to me for the first time in the bottom here. And they were also standing out to me in the swords, right? We got the butterflies of transformations everywhere here. And also this one, right? The butterflies. So this really being consciously aware of your attention, where it's going, what you're feeding, what you are putting your attention on. Okay. So we've got Calla Lily on number 4. We've got Camilla on number 5. Interesting. And Dandelion on number 7. So that's kind of interesting. Okay. So Calla Lily, water and earth element. The balance of desire and a spiritual attainment is found when Calla Lily turns up in a reading. Wow, look at all this balance and this spiritual tending of your garden, right? It can indicate a time of personal empowerment or a relationship going well on all levels, indicating a match physically and spiritually. You might find yourself taking on the qualities of enchantment with a partner, or in turn being enchanted by another. Things are pleasurable, peaceful, and connected. The affirmation, my spiritual nature and sexual nature are balanced and harmonious. Beautiful. Okay, so this is your heart and your mind, and this is that connection, right? On the physical that connects you to your spiritual, and your Empress holding that frequency. So beautiful. The deepest nature of Calla Lily is balancing our spiritual and our sexual nature, showing us that the two are not mutually exclusive, but deeply intertwined. Our pleasure in the world, intimacy, and spiritual evolution are all connected. The living plant spirit is balanced by the crowned angel of death, pierced by the spear. The duality is echoed by the ancient Greek masks turned modern theater, symbol of comedy and tragedy. To Catholics, Calla Lily is associated with the Virgin Mary, and to the pagan Romans, it was a flower of sexuality. In truth, the plant unites both of these forces emanating from one divine source. The union of the two is the key that opens the deeper mysteries. Wow. Okay, and then Camellia, which is a water element. Appreciate what you have, your home, belongings, health, and happiness. When this card appears in a reading, it indicates gratitude for what you have and reminds you that gratitude combined with humility is the key for going forward. The flower spirit is enveloped in the luxury of her petals. Enjoy the world and your life. Enjoy your family and friends. Listen to your intuition from a place of beauty and security, and do not fear scarcity. Affirmation, I enjoy the world and all that I have. Okay, that is how you hold the love vibe, right? Is this, and that is a good example. I don't have this, I don't have that. Lack, right? Fear. This is separation. This is I'm not enough, I don't have enough. This is The fear vibe, right? I have a roof over my head. I have the ability to taste, touch, see. I have access to the ocean, to the rivers. Find things to be grateful for. And this is how you hold the love frequency. This is about the world is abundant. My life is abundant. I am able to recognize abundance. And then the universe is like, oh, here's some more, right? Okay, and dandelion, fire and earth. Dandelion indicates a time and place for you to shine and play, and while doing so, be successful at what is at hand. This plant spirit can indicate success and good fortune in business and goals coming to fruition, all with a light-hearted, fun attitude for you. Enjoy your success and keep it going. Where is your eye drawn? Root, leaf, flower, or seed. Each can deepen the meaning of the divination. The solar attributes are the most flower-like. The root helps you get to the root of the matters and shows you need grounding or purification. The leaf is cleansing and nutritive, indicating support. The flying seeds are of dreams and travel. Each deepens the basic meaning of the dandelion card. Affirmation: I am both joyful and strong. Beautiful. I feel like this is your transition. This is your movement from fear into love. And this is what the world needs more of. Love, sweet love. It's the only thing that there's just too little of. Kitty card. Vulnerability. Meet Shadow. This little kitten hasn't had the easiest time. You might see him peeking out of the dark alley or quickly slipping out of sight in an abandoned building. What he really needs is some love and nurturing. So this is, Shadow is a part of us that has ever been afraid, defensive, lonely, hurt, or angry. He is our deepest vulnerabilities. He is the place inside that needs love more than anything, and you are the one to give that love, okay? And this is that discernment. This is that self-maintenance of finding those pieces that were neglected, tossed aside, and finding them, pouring love into them, and reintegrating. Beautiful. This is about, a lot of the times we avoid vulnerability. Well, that came out like a hot damn. Beautiful. Wow. What's going on in this card? It's very goldy. 23. Rebirth. Beautiful confirmation from the crystals. Intent, transformation, and growth. Yes, the universal forces of love and creation are at work within your life. The thought, idea, or dream you have been nurturing is taking form and preparing to enter the world. The creation process generates many new life experiences and provides the opportunity for profound spiritual growth. The birth of a new creation can trigger an entire range of emotions, from exhilaration to uncertainty, and is often a time of challenge. Know that any discomfort you are currently feeling will be replaced by an overwhelming sense of joy as your intent manifests into form. This is why it's so important to be intentionally choosing love and gratitude. This card can also be a sign to draw your attention to the children in your life and your own need for fun and play. Take the time for relaxation, laughter, and fun. Engage in activities that stimulate a sense of excitement and discovery. The happiness that comes with children and the birth of something new is filled with joy, love, and freedom. Honor your new creation and move forward with the highest loving intent. As I'm reading that, I'm thinking about my dream and the fact that it was like a bunch of children kind of creating their own chaos. It actually, it's versions of myself and my own childhood where I wasn't really allowed to be out of control or to really be a kid. Like, yeah, so those were the spirits of versions of myself that have felt neglected or suppressed. So interesting. Pay attention to your dreams because and have a dream journal if you are one who has a lot of vivid dreams, because there's stuff to be found in there. There's gold. It's another way of this communication, right? That your body gives you on areas. So the main message that I'm picking up here is to find those joyful moments. Allow yourself to be or have those childhood moments that maybe you weren't allowed to have or able to have as you were growing up. Okay. Let's get a couple of these cards. That was a lot. Okay, breathe. Yes, your breath, intentional, life-giving, healing mana. Witness. Yes, witnessing how far you've come, where you want to get to, where you're at, what is being reflected to you, emotions that you are having that are coming up. Pull away and become the witness to them and not a slave to them. Okay, this is where your wisdom lies, is your ability to know the difference, right? On the things that you can control, the things that you cannot, and the wisdom to know the difference. You know the saying. Creation. Yes, you are co-creating with the universe, with your intentions, and with your strong boundaries, with your ability to detach, to cut away, and to not engage in anything that disrupts your clear channel. Okay, and this teaching, this is a co-creative teaching thing. This is that student and the master. And something about when I raised my own kid, there was this level of seeing through the eyes, seeing things for the first time again through the eyes of your child, right? And so it was an in tandem. There was things that I was learning from my child at the same time as I was teaching him. And there's this, there's something in there about through teaching, through speaking, through sharing, you are also reiterating and reconfirming or redefining what you know or what you think you know, and allowing opportunity to relearn, to redefine, to yeah, all of that. Okay. Laughter. Yes. Okay. And your commitment to it. Your self-care game must include joy. It's a huge component. It's like the salt ingredient in your, well, maybe not salt, it's the, I don't know, choose your integral ingredient necessary to make a cake, right? You can't make it without it. And There's no substitute for it. So make sure that your commitment to your healing, to yourself, to your growth, to your expansion includes joy and love and peace and harmony and exploration and all that kind of stuff, okay? And connection, right? The connections that we make with other people and with versions of ourselves. Show compassion. When you're excavating past versions of self, you may find versions in there that you're like, what were you thinking? Why would you let this happen? Why did you spend this many years trying so hard to be in somebody's life who were incapable of seeing you? Stuff like that. And instead of being like, you dummy, and psh, psh, which may be part of your process, but in the end, it comes down to compassion. You did the best with what you knew at the time, right? And now you know better. Now this is that transformation. Now that you know there's no going back. Now that you have expanded, there's no retracting. There's no getting smaller again. Okay, and holding the gratitude is very important. Gratitude and joy, yes. Okay, holy truth and authenticity. Yes, that's the real key to authenticity. It's truth, your truth, not a perceived truth, not a facade that you create because you feel it's an expectation from other people that you are trying to give them, feed them in order for their love and acceptance. This is your truth, owning who you are. And yes, we are in a constant state of discovery of who we are. But it's not like we are remembering who we are, right? We're finding these lost little pieces to rediscover who we are. We're already them at the core. We've just been, shattered and scattered and distracted and imbued with other people's perceptions and expectations and all this stuff. And so it's like a pulling, a shedding, a revealing, an excavating and rediscovery of self. Okay, what was it even about? Oh yeah, truth and authenticity. Okay, so finding your authenticity through your truth. Okay. Yes. Oh wow. Okay, we got empathy. Yes. Empathizing. This is also when you are going back in, like as a parent, you've got all this stress and your kid is like trying to get your attention and you're just like, oh, I just need a moment. And then you're like, enough, shush, go to your room, get away from me. I need a minute, right? And even the best parent in the world, it just takes one moment where you needed something and your caregiver wasn't able to give it to you at that time and place. Well, that can leave a mark. That can leave and it's not about blaming your caregiver. Your caregiver is doing the best that they can do. They're also those versions of self. That's that compassion, right? They're doing the best with what they have, with where they're at, all that kind of stuff. But your truth is about a recognition that regardless what was going on with your caregiver, it's not about them. It's about you and that part of you that didn't receive the thing that it needed at that time, at that place, and going back and giving it to them. And so part of this coming from a place of love, pouring love back into that situation, while you're there, you can also have empathy for your caregiver, right? I know that as I do my own excavation of myself, I am more mindful and aware of the kind of things that my caregiver was going through, or denying in themselves, or not able to see, or whatever the case may be, right? And so there's this understanding, this recognition. It's not about placing blame. It's not even about forgiveness. It is about forgiveness, but it's not in the way that you think. It's more about forgiving so that you're not carrying it with you. Because as we carry these things, we are weighting ourselves down, and we want to be light, right? Okay, positivity, yes. So moving into this state of positivity, this isn't about denying your feelings. This isn't about never getting mad. This isn't about setting clear boundaries. This is about a mindful co-creating and speaking positively for empowerment, right? This is the same thing with this love and fear, right? It's I don't have any of these things versus I have all these things, right? And your focus and how that affects. Okay. We've got self expression. Okay. This is right in there with your truth and authenticity. Your self expression will start to reflect your truth and your authenticity, because it is coming from your core. This is where you're at. This is why it's also part of your divine king and queen of hearts, your king and queen of cups, right? This grounded, balanced heart space. That is the beautiful, fertile ground that you plant all of the seeds in. Reflection. Okay, this is past experiences, gives me insight to clarify my future endeavors. So finding ways that you can heal through your observations of self, right? So by observing my dreams and recognizing, especially through this reading, those lost and forgotten versions of myself, those child versions of myself, and giving them love. Okay. Sorry, I got distracted by a memory that came back. And I don't know, I feel like I only remember this because there's a tape recording of it. And it was my mom and her friend. We were over at her house, and I think she had a kid as well. But anyways, they were recording themselves singing. And my mom's got the voice of an angel. And anyways, at some point during the recording, you hear this like, and my mom, it was me playing with the door. And my mom was like, Amy, stop that. Don't play with the door. You're going to hurt yourself, or whatever, right? And they're continuing doing their thing, and you hear in the background, I'm still playing with it. And then all of a sudden, you hear me cry or scream and then cry, because she was right. I hurt myself. And next thing you hear is her getting mad at me because I didn't listen to her, and it was my own damn fault that I hurt myself, because if I only listened to her, then I wouldn't have hurt myself. Kind of a reprimanding and for me to stop crying, basically because it was my own fault, right? And so that is interesting, because it's I needed to be consoled. I needed to be held and, acknowledged that I had a pain. And actually, I have a couple memories of being yelled at for when I was hurt or scared or in pain instead of being held and acknowledged. And so for me to heal those parts of myself is to go back, relive that moment, and become one who is able to give that version of self the thing that I needed then that didn't get. Does that make sense? Interesting. Okay, sorry, you kind of went with me on that. Okay, so that's the reading for today. Oh, it went really long. Sorry about that. But I think there was some good stuff in there. Okay, balance, always choose love. Listen to your body, listen to your dreams, follow the signs and synchronicities that are leading you. Trust in your heart, right? Hold the frequency of love. Tend your spiritual garden. You've got your divine spirit team just, totally celebrating everything that you are doing for yourself, your growth, your transformation, your healing, and and your discernment, right? And your ability to speak your truth, set clear boundaries, cut away the things that no longer serve, and you are trusting in your heart space to lead and guide you and help to reintegrate all the things. Okay, thank you for being here. I appreciate you, and all the love to you and yours and your little fragmented versions of self that you discover along the way. Okay, take care. See you next time. Bye.